Now the dust has settled and we finally know a lot more about Samsung's new devices, the Galaxy Note 5 and the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, let's take a look at the pros and cons from the details we have so far. Let me start by saying this event was more about the launch of Samsung Pay, a groundbreaking mobile payment system, than it was the devices. My take on the event was not only to beat Apple to the punch with two solid phones that are a power user's dream, but to kit it with the necessary hardware for an innovative step in the right direction for retailers and consumers alike. Not only do the new phones work with NFC, but can work with existing terminals that use MST. That's magnetic secure transmission, putting their technology miles ahead of any other company, making this the biggest game changer until Android and Apple Pay eventually catch up. Okay, so what about the new mobile phones? Both the Note 5 and S6 Edge Plus share the same specs, except the Note 5 comes with the invaluable S Pen. The screen is a mighty 5.7 Quad HD Super AMOLED, 2560 by 1440 at 518 ppi. Has a Samsung Exynos 7420 octa-core 64-bit processor, 4 gigs of RAM, 16 megapixel rear camera with optical image stabilization, and a 5 megapixel at the front. Fast wireless charging is inbuilt, and it can go from empty to full in 2 hours. My personal opinion is I'm not against the new glass look of the Note 5. I happen to quite like it. Okay, you can't access the battery, something I would have still preferred, but it wasn't the end of the world, as I tend to carry enough EE power bars to keep me going, and there's always my Gear S smartwatch. My issue is releasing a smartphone that once had the capability of having a micro SD slot, then only making a 64 gig version rather than a 128 gig one. The latter is shown on Samsung's website, only to be pulled shortly after, admitting it was a mistake. No shit, Samsung. Dangling the proverbial carrot, the rumour mill is that Samsung will still eventually release a 128 gig model at some stage. Then by far the most stupidest move I've ever seen a company do, not to release their current flagship model, the Note 5 in Europe, which is absolutely ludicrous. Not only will current Note users who like to upgrade yearly feel mightily disappointed by this decision, more importantly, Samsung is now dictating what phones will be released in what countries, despite previous releases being available. This unconventional marketing will undoubtedly lose them support and custom in Europe, and push the Note users to Apple or another Android model, and it won't be the S6 Edge Plus. Even if Samsung do eventually sell the Note 5 or a Note 6 when Samsung Pay becomes available, my opinion is the damage has already been done. My circumstances moving to Android was because of the phablet generation. The Note 2, 3 and 4 were beasts of the mobile world, a power user's dream. And then there's that S Pen. It just sealed the deal for me, and I hadn't looked back until now. But when any company starts to change strategy, where suddenly a product you happily purchased yearly is no longer available in a country it once was, it's very difficult to want to support a brand, let alone that company. So what are your thoughts on Samsung's reveal and strategy? Leave a comment below and please like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time.